All right, sorry about that, guys. We're back up and running. We're doing it. We're back at it. Made the necessary adjustments. Let's get right back at it, picking up where we left off. Dude, man, Dynamite was insane, dude. Like, that's some of the most batshit crazy shit I've ever heard.
Self-sacrifice and physical strain. Tom finally earns a championship victory with Davey Boy at WrestleMania 2. Now at the top of the pecking order, Tom is hell-bent on the same hard knocks he was once forced to endure. He was a product of snake wicked guys who really knew how to hurt you in a hurry, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming that Tommy corrupt. I think it created him a resiliency and also a little bit of bitterness to people who hadn't been through what he had to make it through.
Yeah, damn you, Don Stevens, but we're back, we're up, and we're running, and we got it going. Because we got it like that. Órale, arriba la raza.
I was excited. I'm in the ring with Tommy. Came in a very, very quick education. Dynamite starts shaking the ropes like he couldn't wait to get in. And when he was tagged in, there were no hard feelings.
Nope. Yeah, I'm used to being put in a situation where I got to MacGyver my way out of it. Like, I'm basically running on two laptops right now. I'm streaming on the one that I'm facing now, and then I'm watching on the other one that I'm looking at. Now, I've even figured out how to do Twitch streams off of this laptop. I just got to get the webcam figured out or set up and fixed.
British Bulldogs from when I was little. I used to play Barbies with them. No, severe Ken dolls.
Really loved the Bulldogs, but I saw a few things happen that changed my opinion. He was a river. He loved giving people a hard time, jokingly, which some people wouldn't think was jokingly. Some of the stuff was pretty stiff that he did. He used to lift it and see people. One time, he got seen on my brother. Put a sleeping drug into their drinks. It's a guy called Mitch. Snow. And the kid has a big mouth on him. He just talks shit. So Tommy, get the house out, get me. Dynamite and Davey Boy went on the balcony to get into his room. He cracked in his bag, shaved his eyebrows, shaved his head. The kid went back to his home in South Carolina somewhere because he was in fear of his life. I think he almost had a nervous breakdown or something.
Damn, pal.
Okay, it's funny now, but it's not funny funny when you're 23 days on the road. It's not funny when you lost your bags earlier that week. It's not funny when you haven't seen your kids in 20 days. It's not funny. It's not easy.
But he wasn't like that when I first started going out with him or in the first 5 years of our marriage. There's none of that sadistic behavior. It started happening after his back operation.
During a non-televised match in 1986, Dynamite does a seemingly harmless drop down with his opponent. After years of being pushed past its limit, Dynamite's body finally breaks down. Tom is rushed to the hospital with a severe back injury, requiring immediate emergency surgery.
When they opened him up, his fourth and fifth lumbar was just shredded. And his discs were all tangled in his spinal cord.
So they have removed the discs, right? 2 discs. He wasn't supposed to work anymore, after the surgery. And I think he was back in the ring 2 weeks later.
Jeez.
He needed to take the titles off. He could not wrestle. Davey carried him to the ring. This is off camera. The television audience saw this. I think he gets hit by the megaphone or something. They got taken up right away. Davey worked the match, got paid. They got the belts off. Headed back to my car. When he got to my house, he went back in a wheelchair and stayed with me for a couple of days. Sleep on the floor, not because I didn't have my bed, but because that was the most comfortable place for him.
Jeez.
It was like a whimper. I can't imagine how much pain he was in. Contrary to doctor's orders, Dynamite rushes a return to the ring just months after the surgery. Wrestling in constant agony, his temper begins to spiral out of control, creating chaos at home. When the times were good with Michelle and Tom, that was good. But did you ever see times when they were bad between them? Yeah. I see that.
There was one night when he was taking me out to show me a nice time. I didn't want to drink alcohol. So instead of saying I'm not drinking, because that would have been like a diss to Tom, I ordered a tonic water, put lemon in it. He'll think it's a vodka tonic. He grabbed my drink and he drank it. And he spit it out like as if it was poison. He said, "What the is this?" And I was like, "It's tonic water." And he's like, "Tonic water? How come you're drinking tonic water?" He just wouldn't let it go. Like he was so mad. And then all the way home, he was playing chicken on the road. A car would be coming, and he'd act like he's going to hit the car. And he'd, "How could you lie to me?" And I was like, "Sorry, I just didn't want to drink. What's the big deal?" When we got home, I'm just about to go to sleep, and he's like, "Get up." And I was like, "What? What? Get up, get up." Shoved me in a closet, and he goes, "You stay in there, you little yard dog." So I slept on the floor, and I was glad that he wasn't bugging me. I'll sleep in the closet.
Oh.
Anyway, I find out I'm pregnant. Our son. So after Merrick was born, he was, going to great lengths to make up for what he did, the closet incident. Merrick was such a difficult child. He was just really high maintenance. But Thomas,
I know, right? Dude.
So I think he really wanted to make up for that with Merrick. But, that didn't last.
The Dynamite Kid's home and work life have become increasingly volatile. After being forced to surrender the championship, Tom takes out his rage on another rising tag team in the WWF. Vince called the Bulldogs and the Rougeos. He said, "Guys, I'd like to go and have a quick match with you 4 guys, and I'd like to have a 20-minute Broadway." The timeline has expired. This contest is ruled a draw. It was a draw. So for me, that was a victory because, it's like putting us in the same league as them, which we were not. Lord knows after that match, I was so happy and everything was good. And I never thought I'd counter problem
Rougeau thing, I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Like, is that the only thing that ever happened to him? When the Rougeaus came to WWF, they seemed to have this prestige right away. Tom had the old school way. You earn your right to have privilege.
I've always had an arrogance in me that made me succeed in the business. I never was a mean person, but I was a person who talked a lot and joked a lot, and not everybody liked to hear jokes, you know, and that may not have helped my cause either. In the dressing room, Perfect was sitting completely at the other end of the dressing room against the wall. As soon as I walked in there, John, let's play cards. And he knew he got me because I'm a card player. Next thing you know, it's like, fell down. And then I got back up, and then he really punched me in the face. Then he ended up kicking me in the face. I was swollen up like the Elephant Man. Look bad in front of the guys to the point where he told Mr. McMahon after the fact, like he could no longer shave because he couldn't look himself in the mirror. I was in bad shape, mentally much more than physically. I didn't want to do what was coming. I just knew I had to. What do you mean? Get revenge.
Yeah, to be fair, like I can kind of understand why Jacques needed to kind of get his, like, he needed to get his heat back. Like, he basically got bitched out in the locker room. You can't let that sit. You gotta respond. You can't no sell that. You gotta respond. Like, especially with something like that.
I was afraid of what was coming. Jacques was not a tough street fighter or anything. He just felt that he needed to get his respect back. And you know what my father said? Before going to the building, go to the back and get yourself a roll of quarters.
Just hours before a television taping, Jacques lies in wait for Dynamite's arrival at the arena.
I saw that curtain open. And I know Dynamite's coming. For the first time in a week, I looked at him in the eyes. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He had his hand in mine. And I went, you know when you're young and you see those monster movies and the blood's flowing out? The river, it's true. 4 teeth came out.
Damn.
And I remember Dynamite again. Oh, and I said, the next time I'm going to put you in. Was it a roll of quarters? I don't think so. I think it was a pair of brass knuckles.
I just didn't think what Tom had done deserved getting his teeth knocked out.
Tommy couldn't handle it. It bothered Tommy. His reputation had been damaged. I mean, you got the guy who's tougher than nails.
I mean,
Physically abused like that.
I mean, Tom kind of fired the first shot, and Jacques had to respond in some way. Sorry.
Dino Bravo, a wrestler with alleged ties to organized crime, gives him a cautionary warning.
Tom bought a 9mm handgun with a clip for me. And I was like, I don't want that gun. Like, I was so scared of it. He goes, look, I don't want to scare you. I talked to Dino Bravo, and he said he saw an envelope with Tom's name, our address, and inside of it had a picture of our house, me and the kids. Like, if there's any retaliation, like anything, your family's gonna be dead. We sold. We were worried.
Damn, I did not know that part. So apparently, after, yeah, so apparently Jacques, according to Dino Bravo, this is what this is sounding like, went to the mob
like to know him, but I knew he was a stooge. I knew he was a stooge for the Bulldogs. And whatever I said to him, he was going to bring it back to the Bulldogs. I took a piece of paper and I wrote a name down. I wrote a fictive name.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is oh wow.
Call him one night. Things will be taken care of. And I'm glad to hear that worked.
Finding out about the mafia possibly coming to kill his wife, that really made him not want to be a part of that company anymore.
At the 1988 Survivor Series pay-per-view event, Tom decides to end his career in the WWF.
I don't think Dynamite was ever happy in WWF. He liked to respect the energy. So it was like, we can go in Japan, we can get away with this thing.
Wow, what a Meltzer can't keep his fucking Japanese mark bullshit out of even this.
He started to say his arm was bothering him. But later I found out his ligaments weren't even on bone. He got his shoulder operated on. It was terrible. About a week later, girlfriend came over and he was like, "You just talking to Sandra, you don't even." I was like, "Yes, I do." That's bad. You wrecked your arm. I didn't understand. What the hell?
Man, I'm learning a lot of new shit in this.
Inflicted abuse in the ring. Tom's best days are now behind him.
Tom was slipping deeper and deeper, I'd say, into pills and drinking. This one night, he invited me to come watch wrestling. It was hours watching him and Tiger Mask. He said, "Watch this." Took a F of a bump. Him and Tiger Mask. I'm like, "Wow." That's my last memory of Tom. Being with him and watching the end of greatness.
Dude, that's man.
Something changed emotionally for them. Well, after that, he hit quite a few people. He broke a few jaws.
It was New Year's Eve. It was about 10 o'clock, and Tom came in with his brother and a couple of friends that he went out with. And he had this white sweatshirt on, and it was just full of blood. And his cheek is like cut. It's just the flap is just open, like you see his cheekbone. And he's got his sunglasses on. Rowan's crying, "Daddy, Daddy, what happened?"
I remember I was scared. I was like, "What happened to Daddy?"
He's like, "Fell down, little girl. Daddy's gonna be okay." Rowan never saw this stuff, but she was seeing it. And I was like, "Oh my God, I was feeling like such a failure, like as a mother. And now I'm pregnant and I'm going to bring another child into this horrible life." I just couldn't take it anymore. And that's when I got like suicidal, and I'm walking around going like, I just can't live another freaking like this. I finally decided that's it. And I gave Tom a one-way ticket to England. I said, "Tom, I would like you to leave now. Take whatever you need and just go." That's when the shit went down.
And my dad dragged my mom by the hair across the floor.
He lost his mind. He was like, he had some kind of hold and my jaw went off. He let me go and I was like, I put my jaw back. The kids were there. They had never seen anything like this. And they were crying. I'm trying to act like, Daddy's having a moment. It's going to be fine. He's going to leave. He goes, no, I think you should go. And I was like, I'm the one pregnant. I'm the one with a toddler. Merrick was still in diapers. All my stuff is here. All their clothes are here. He went downstairs and got a gun. And he said, if you're not out 15 minutes, I'm going to blow your head off.
Yeah, so fuck Dynamite Kid.
He's like, no.
And my dad then put a shotgun up to my mom's head. And I was holding my little brother screaming, Daddy, no, Daddy, no.
They're hysterical. I'm not, though. So I'm like calling his bluff. I'm like, no, you're not blowing my head off. If you're not going to leave, I'm calling the police. So I called the police and I said, my husband's threatening to blow my head off. And I'm pregnant and I have children. She goes, well, honey, if he said you could leave, just leave. Oh, God.
And fuck the police too. Holy shit.
Just didn't want to bring our bullshit again. But I did. I packed up my little bags. I left.
What the fuck?
She was terrified that he was going to come and who knows do what to her or any of us. His headspace was not good. Not good at that time.
Michelle's harrowing experiences will stay a family secret for years until they were eventually exposed to the world, forever altering the legacy of the Dynamite Kid. In a final
Yeah, to be fair, like a lot of people can relate to that maybe not to that extreme, but that situation. All fluffs, pal. Bro.
I wanted a girl because I had the perfect name. I had the name of Maris. And it means gift from God. And I believe Amaris saved my life. I believe she saved all our lives. That kid has been a blessing since the day she was born.
Just at his retirement match in Japan. Now he wrote a letter to Michelle saying that he was going to come to Calgary.
I really believe that Tom would come and see his baby. Thank God he did it, because in the end, I think he did like he manned up and let us be. I think he knew there was something wrong with him. Like, he wasn't the same person. Like, this violence was out of control. I don't think he had control of it anymore.
After he finished wrestling, he was fighting in garages. Just like a dog, like a pit bull. It was just cars parked in a circle, the lights on, and it was just bare nut fights. And he was doing those to survive.
Did he talk much about his family?
No, I knew you were going to ask me that. No, he didn't. It was just Tommy. His personal stuff wouldn't let people in. No, he didn't let me in because he didn't want to show me any sign of weakness. It's a macho thing, I know, but I have to keep that reputation. Not be able to win.
5 years after his retirement, Tom returns to Japan for a comeback match.
The comeback match was real sad. He looked like a shell of the Dynamite Kid.
I think all of us kind of willingly suspend that state of belief in order to believe in a different reality. That we're portraying. We are that tough.
Wow, he actually made a mid-90s Oh, wow.
He went to Ambulette and he just hit the deck. to hospital. He said, Robert, they told him he had too much scar tissue. Too much scar tissue to operate. So
Guys came to see him, and for the most part, he didn't want anyone to see him. The greatest wrestler who changed the business and everything like that, and this guy who at times could be an absolute monster, and then the absolute tragic ending. Way too young, you know, when you're 40s and over. Sad from being this incredible athlete.
I felt so sad for him. Of course, I still loved him. God, get married and have children. No, I still love him. Just didn't love what was going on.
She always talked about him like he was like a prince. She never said anything negative about him. It was always positive. And then the Chris Benoit documentary came out. I think I was about 16 years old. And that was the first time my mom talked about any kind of abuse in the relationship.
It's part of a media frenzy sparked by the 2007 Chris Benoit tragedies. A CNN expose airs with focus on domestic violence perpetrated by wrestlers. Michelle is interviewed, and for the first time ever, details her stories of abuse at the hands of Tom Billington.
Michelle says at home the kid was out of control, at one time dragging her by the hair, holding a gun to her face.
He certainly wasn't the guy you fell in love with.
No.
Right before her interview, Michelle reveals to her children the complicated truths about their father.
I was just so mad. I was mad at my dad for hurting my mom because she's like the best woman ever. And I was mad at my mom because I felt like she lied to me about who my dad was. So when I found that there was actually abuse and a gun, she was pregnant with me at that time. That was the beginning of a very dark time in my life.
Damn, that's rough, man.
Despite promising Michelle
Wow.
to visit his family, Tom would never return to Canada.
When I had my first child, I finally felt whole. I thought that she was everything that I was looking for. And eventually that started to change again, and I didn't feel whole again. And I knew that it was my dad that I was missing. She was like, flight's booked, I'm going, are you coming with me? And I said no. I decided I was just gonna go see my dad without him knowing.
15 years after Tom last saw his eldest daughter, Bronwyn travels to England to pay him a surprise visit.
Walked into the living room. That's where my dad was sitting in his wheelchair. And that was the first time I'd ever seen him in a wheelchair. And I immediately just broke down crying. He acted like no time had passed. And he said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Because I haven't seen you in 15 years. By the third day, there's just my dad and I. And I'm sitting on the couch. My dad's in his wheelchair. I was just looking at him like I want to be close to him. So I took a chair and moved it and just sat right next to him. We held hands and we started crying. He said, "I'm sorry." And that was the only time he'd ever apologized for anything. I knew in that moment what it meant. He didn't have to say anything else, and I just felt it. And it was a really beautiful moment that we shared, and I'm so happy that I went.
at the end there, I understand that he's very sick.
He had a stroke too.
Wow. So he actually did show remorse and apologized. Honestly, that was more than anything. It felt like more for her than for him, because she actually got closure from him.
Great friend and somebody I cared about a lot. And I miss him. He loved his friends and he loved his kids. And I love Dynamite Kid.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't cry for like a week. I was in shock.
I got a call from my mom. I think I was consoling her more. And then right before we hung up, she said to me, well, now you know that he's right beside you. I hung up the phone and I just started, because that's all I ever wanted was for him to be beside me.
The week before, Danny had tried to talk with him. And Danny said, I love you. And Danny said, why?
It brought home a lot of memories when he died of what an integral figure he was in the history of wrestling that probably he'll never get the full credit for, because telling that story is a sad story, not a happy story. You don't have a happy story.
Let it go. Let my kids heal. My kids can't heal with this kind of stuff. And if you do talk about the violence, talk about CTE. Talk about the signs of depression. Don't knock him. Like, he could have came back. We could have perpetuated it, but we ended it. We did the right thing. And my kids did better without, him around. Even though it pissed me off that he said, I hope my children are so proud of my body at work. And I said in my head, why don't you be a father? They don't need a wrestler. But now that I'm older, I understand that that's what he wanted to give the kids.
He's largely been forgotten. I think at the time, but those who witnessed him in his prime, they'll never forget it. I remember Bruce Springsteen saying, trust the art, not the artist. Tommy had a canvas and he was brilliant. He's not the first, nor will he be the last to suffer for the sake of his art. And there's a sense that a lot of people who are great at something are not necessarily great in all aspects of their life. They find solace in doing what they do, but they pay for that brief time. You become a bigger star than you ever imagined, and then you pay for it every day for the rest of your life.
Man, if there's anybody to deliver that more qualified to deliver that quote, it's Mick Foley. All right, well, that is it for HMG After Dark tonight, guys. Sorry for the hiccup there. Had a little bit of issues there, but we got it done. We'll be back tomorrow night. What are we doing? Dynamite Watch Along. And then Thursday, HMG After Dark will be a special Christmas edition. We're watching Ernest Saves Christmas Pal. And then Friday night, SmackDown Watch Along. Saturday night, not sure yet what we're doing there. And of course, Sunday, the Impact Replay Watch Along. Then Monday, Impact Attack. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Much love. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, pal. Giggity, giggity.